How you doing, YouTube? Matt Märzenbier Reviews, back with a little bit of Treehouse Jams. Traditional beer Treehouse Jams in the form of their Brisk. Yeah. This be a German-style Märzenbier. It's conditioned in oak until perfectly softened. Brewed with German Pilsner, Munich, Cara Munich, and Vienna malts. It's fermented cool with traditional Märzen yeast, then transferred to our horizontal oak lagering tank for extended refinement and conditioning. With soft and noble hop character, accentuated malts, and an ever so gentle kiss of American oak, Brisk is a crisp, refreshing, and hugely characterful. Is that a word? A triumphant transformation of Whisper. Okay. Is Whisper another beer? Maybe they take Whisper and they put it in those oak fermenters. Anyway, we're quite pleased to share it with you as the weather grows cool and autumn leaves progress through their yearly evolution. Enjoy. 5.3%. On the bottom says here, Wild Stallions will never be a super band till we have Eddie Van Halen on guitar. This is 10.7, so it's about 2.5, 3 weeks old. And I will always and ever say Märzen. I will not say Märzen. I am very kind of, I don't know, I'm pig-headed or some shit. I have, like, one Treehouse glass, and it's a Willie Beechman. I don't know why I don't use it. This is, like, exactly the vessel you would want to use proper glassware in, but I'm a dumb. Label-wise, it's awesome. I dig Treehouse's labels, more specifically the newer ones, the more graphic ones they've been doing as of late, so I be a fan. And, I mean, you're talking about a Fooder Märzen. That's about peak me as you can get, especially in this moment. I share the same sentiments about fall. It's very much, German lager season for me. And hopefully this one proves pretty awesome. Index finger. That would be called khaki colored head. Pretty kind of neurotic, kind of bubbling on this really soft carbonation and this rich kind of golden glow to it. I mean, kind of peak Märzen. Peak Märzen season, peak Märzen color. See, I accidentally pronounced it right. Let's get a nose. Oh, man, it smells so good. Because it's a combination. So you get those rich malts. So you kind of go from that Pilsner to the Carapils, moving up that malt ladder, and it kind of works that way in the nose. So you get this rich kind of bready, just stopping short of kind of sugary caramel kind of maltiness. But you absolutely get an oakiness from this, a soft oakiness with the ever so slightest little bit of what comes off as maybe the insinuation of vanilla for me. A very, very, very soft kind of tea-like tannic bittering, and then done. It's a Märzen. It's not going to be a 2x4 to the face of aromas and probably even taste, even though I could see this being a little bit more electric than you come to expect for these kind of beers. But just the way that malt character marries with that soft woodiness, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Let's dive in. Cheers. So that's pretty delicious, to be perfectly honest with you. It's got this richness. When I said it was going to be a little bit bigger than I assumed based off of the nose, that's where it goes. It's still the bready component, but just a little bit more sweetness to it than what you'd expect. So it's more of an elevated bread. It's not like a desserty bread or like a pound cakey kind of sweetness, but there is a little bit of sweetness that makes you just enjoy it just a little bit more. Those hops actually come in quite late in a taste, and it's actually a fun little kind of zigzag, a little bit of swerve on the beer, because it really is all about the malts in here. The softness of that wood fermentation in combination with the malts. That's it for a second. I want to see what happened. Anyway, that's the star of the show. Is the malts and that kind of that wood. But those hops really come in late in the taste and add this really fun, almost spicy bittering. I thought it was going to be more like soft tea-like aged kind of tannic kind of hoppiness. But it does have this little pop to it. So it comes off a little bit spicy, comes off a little bit sharp. Absolutely 1,000% welcome for this beer, this kind. A bit more Americanized than what you typically get from, classic kind of Märzen, especially one that it hits wood. But I enjoy it. quite a bit, and just it pulls off the trick. And they actually say it on the label, and you're like, they're kind of being oxymoron here. And they talked about the softness of the wood, but this kind of crispiness of the beer, and that's a really tough trick to pull off on these beers because they're almost opposite ends of the spectrum. You almost certainly can't have a soft beer that is crisp. It just doesn't make any sense, but it can be done. A lot of times it has to do with these kind of oak-touched kind of lagers, Märzens, things of that ilk. And they pull that off, and that's very, very impressive. So, I'll get to the point where I don't really like to do this, but I'm going to do it for the sake of conversation, because it's a conversation that's been having a lot in the comment section of my videos and on Instagram and real life and stuff like that. Tired Hens, jeez. Treehouse, Fox Farm. So Fox Farm has been making a lot of beers like this. And they're probably one of my favorite breweries because they kill it on every level. And Treehouse does these kind of beers too, but not for my exposure. They don't do them as frequently as Fox Farm does. And while I enjoy the crap out of them, the ones I get from Treehouse, they rarely impress me as much as these old world style ales that the ones that Fox Farm pulls off. This is probably as good as, if not better than, any of the Märzens I've had from Fox Farm. This is absolutely fantastic. Not that I want to make it a contest, not that that's what beer's about. You have two great breweries very close to each other, making absolutely fantastic new school hazies, barrel-aged beer, and old world beer. And that's a good thing for everybody out there. This is fantastic. This is one of the better Märzens I've had in recent memory, and I have drank a ton of them as of late. Yeah, I like that little aggressive hoppiness at the end. I mean, the oak, the wood fermenter oakiness that you get on this. Scrap that vanilla I talked about on the nose. It's really not there. It is more of just a neutral, like they even called it American wood, not like a French wood that would get off vanilla. It has a soft oak tannin, but more importantly, it adds this roundness to the whole beer, except that little bit of hop addition that gets sharp towards the end. It's just a fun beer. It's a fun beer. It's a fun beer that Taco. Come here, bud. Come here. I'm going to have to get a little Taco up here. Come on up, bud. Come on. Come on. Up. Taco. Come on. Come on. Come here, bud. Come on. Come on. Up here. Let's go. Up. He's not going to do it. Jerk dog. Anyway. Yeah, I called you a jerk, buddy. But yeah, man, this is really good beer. This is really good stuff. What a time to be alive. These breweries making these classic old world style beers in such a pretty way. I am a fan. So let's talk about this beer. Is this one of the better German style lagers, darker beers, Märzen, Bock, those kind of beers I've had as well? Yes. Mount Rushmore status. It is absolutely fantastic. Everything I want in this beer, plus more. I think this is going to be one of the better ones I've had in recent memory for a very long time. Value and availability, no idea. Steven or people in the Treehouse universe, let me know what's what. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like beer, this is it. This is beer. This is beer to me. More so than even macro lager and Pilsner. I mean, this is German, German fest beer, Märzen. See, I keep slipping into that word. Lager, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's really beer for me. And this is it. So if you like beer, you like this. If you don't like this, you just don't like beer. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, Steven. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out in the social media stuff. Excuse me. Beer Massif. You see it up there. We talked to Dean from Treehouse before, so you can check that out. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little Märzen right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.